Welcome back to my next episode where I will talk about if you are finding yourself in the pinnacle of your career and you now own a law firm, or you've worked so hard that you are now a partner at a law firm and a professional basketball team comes around and hires your firm to represent them. Here are some things that you should do. One, as I keep saying, your due diligence. You 1000% should be combing through the documentation that they have submitted, combing through the documentation that they haven't submitted. You should be reading emails back and forth about this whole claim. You should be doing your due diligence so that you can thoroughly represent your client in court. What you should not do, let's get into that. What you should not do, and this is all alleged because you know how these people love to try to stop people from telling their truth. So allegedly, what you should not do is take documentation from another case that had major corruption going on, where people were stealing my mail to make for certain that I didn't show up to give my behalf. You shouldn't go into that legal proceeding and get the documentation and testimonies from those felons, those criminals who were trying to steal money and putting people in fake marriages. I know as a law firm or a partner at a law firm, you wouldn't do that, would you? We know you wouldn't. But in case you are a little bit corrupt and you get taken to task by someone like me, and you have to come up against someone like me in court, what you should not do is go and get the evidence and talk to the people that are criminals already in this other court case. And you shouldn't allegedly pay a court clerk, and you shouldn't allegedly bribe a judge, and then depose me and accuse me of all the things that the corrupt people in that other court case said. For example, accusing me of not taking care of my kids and being a bad parent. And when I asked where you got that from, it was, oh, well, they said that you were always having issues with your children. That's because in that other court case, those criminals were trying to get my kids taken away. And like rich and powerful people do, they have access to people in CPS, and they got someone to write a false statement. You shouldn't include that in your documentation. And the people that you're representing definitely shouldn't include those lies as they go through litigation. It just sets you up for some bad things. What was another one? Another favorite one of mine was, oh yes, the drugs. I think I've talked about this before, so we won't go too far into that. But if you are going to say that I was always an addict and had all these issues going on, there should be some real documentation from the organization that you're representing about that. See, just throwing those things around just digs a deeper hole for you to be sued for libel, slander, and defamation of character, and all other kinds of legal terms that we'll talk about later when I do questions for the Karmic Clowns, KKK edition. But let me not get ahead of myself. And then, one of my favorite ones was I wasn't qualified for the role and that I exaggerated my resume because the criminals in that other court case that were trying to steal money from me, that was one of their ways of slandering me by saying that I was crazy and that I couldn't keep a job and that I was always having to job hop and that I lied about my resume. Yeah, that criminal saying that doesn't make that true. But now you have my real resume, and you have my LinkedIn. And in my earlier episodes, I went through my resume. So please tell me where I exaggerated my resume and was never qualified to be in the role. See, when you take information allegedly from a court case where criminals are trying to steal money, you might set yourself up for failure with that one. And then posture yourself to get sued again for libel, slander, and defamation of character. That's wild. So where did you get that lie from? Yeah, that's because that avoidant guy and that narcissist ex of mine, that's what they said in their court case when they were trying to steal money from me and put me in false marriages. You know, you would just think that if you hit the pillar of your career and you're a top level attorney like that, you should know better than these things.